Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find The Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Oh, yes, It is Friday. Let me,
Anita Dick and me.
Yeah, I know. We heard The Monty Show. Happy Friday, friends. How the heck are you? As always, we are presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business, without a doubt. Theadvocates.com. Did you get hurt at work today? You know, listen, workman's comp's a big deal. Driving down the road with some guy we saw, I don't know how they missed each other. Almost a massive accident on the way to work today because people are on their phones. Hey, man, you didn't deserve to get in that accident. You didn't deserve to get hurt at work, but you do deserve an advocate. Chat with an attorney live online 24/7 for free at theadvocates.com. See, because you don't pay the advocates until they win your case. We are on Porch Pirate Watch. We are literally sitting here today with the Ring doorbell app up because the gold-studded, platinum-plated golf bag is sitting on the porch while Mrs. Monty is quite literally off getting a massage today. The one day something for actually myself gets delivered to the crib, Mrs. Monty's not available.
Whatever.
Every other day, she is there, available and waiting. Unbelievable. The injustice.
Yeah.
So we're on Porch Pirate Watch today, and we're waiting for Jake's golf clubs to get delivered.
Did you
today.
watch the short we made on the PXG clubs?
Oh my God!
Go watch the short,
you
dude.
Guys,
They're beautiful.
You guys.
And what we did is, and we'll get to as the Pac-12 turns in 2 minutes.
Of course we will.
But what we did is we ordered a set of Gen 6 drivers and Gen 5 irons from PXG. And then we decided to order a crappy set of clubs from Amazon in an effort to show you the difference between PXG and the difference between crappy set from Amazon. So going to Topgolf tonight, should be excited. Should be a good time.
Dude, I'm not even kidding. Look at this dude slow rolling in front of my house. Now he's doing a U-turn. Oh, dude. This would be amazing.
Bro,
if live on the
so
show.
You're watching on the app.
I'm watching on my Ring doorbell app. And he stopped in front of my house right now.
No way.
Dude, you okay? Dude is in front of my house right now. This is going to end badly. I'm telling you, Porch Pirates are the lowest of the low. They are the lowest of the low. He got out of his car. Oh, my God. What are we doing? I hope not. Okay. We're not going to panic.
Is he walking up to the door?
He's just kind of, now he parked a little bit down the street. We'll just watch. Parked a little bit down the street here. We'll see.
Damn.
Anyway,
anxiety's at an all-time high here.
It will drive me crazy. This is the nicest golf bag I've ever owned. Well, I don't own it yet. And there's nothing I can do but watch. Dude, it's terrible.
Brutal.
All right, let's get to work on the Monty Show. We appreciate everybody who's here as usual. Thanks for another great week. It's been a record-breaking week of viewership on the channel. Whether it was getting to 16,000 subscribers, whether it was you guys really participating in the show, drinking your bucked up, going to barbecue pit stop, all the new members on the show, all the new viewers on the show. Welcome to the Monty Show, live and in your face every single day, coast to coast, 3 to 6 Mountain Time, 5 to 8, I guess that would be 5 to 8 Eastern, right here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's get to work on what seemingly is the story of all stories as the Pac-12 turns. And as we told you yesterday, Ion TV pretty much left the picture for Pac-12 TV deals as they did a deal with the WNBA for a Friday night national package. And now today, just in digging into all of these storylines, we talked to a very high-placed source in the Pac-12 who tells us Utah President Taylor Randall is playing peacemaker is the word that was used to us today, and that Taylor Randall, the president at Utah, is really pushing the narrative. Give George time to do the job that we gave him to do. Let George do his work and go get the best TV deal he can, and then let's talk about the merits of the deal, what we're going to do, how we're going to move forward. He has been pushing patience. And I think, Jake, this is not surprising based on what we know about President Randall. It seems like it is in his DNA to be a calming presence amongst a really what's turned into a rabid group of presidents.
Yeah, and I think that Taylor Randall is someone who is sort of a lower key kind of personality most of the time in the Pac-12. Like, you don't hear, Taylor Randall, leading the headlines or that, you don't hear that the Pac-12 is doing all these and innovative things, or like, you just don't hear about Utah and the Pac-12 a ton when it comes to the news cycle in that sense. And I think that when I look at Taylor Randall, I think, there is a lot of upside for him to do leadership, to help his member institutions along. But he can only take them as far as they're willing to go, because he's not a commissioner. He's not, over the entire conference. He's just over the University of Utah. And so I think, it's great that he's trying to calm everybody down. But I think the problem for Taylor in that effort is that there's not a real good reason to stay calm. There is a lot of reason to be a little bit stressed out. And I think, we saw all the Utah hate coming into the comments section and all over Twitter. Utah guy wanting to tell us that the WNBA Ion deal has nothing to do with the Pac-12 and they're unrelated and this is unbelievable slander. And all I'm here to say is, fine, sure, if you want to be in denial, that's fine. But there's a reason your president, Randall, is trying to calm people down. There's a reason that there's an effort to chill other presidents out and other athletic directors out, because the time is running out, right? Like, again, if we wind the clocks back like we do almost every day, you all will remember this conversation started last summer, and we were told Thanksgiving, Christmas, your mom's birthday, New Year, like all these arbitrary dates that were like, hey, the deal's going to be done here, we're going to get something done there, like, and nothing's happened, and now it's been pushed out till May or June. Like, it just keeps going. And I believe that, athletic directors and presidents at these member institutions are getting a little antsy. They want at least an offer, something to come through. And that's why I think you're hearing about guys like Taylor Randall having to put a lot of effort into, cooling people off, because whether he likes it or not, Utah is one of the most successful schools in the Pac-12 right now, which comes with an inherent responsibility to lead the group as best you can. So that's why I think you're hearing about stuff like this.
Well, and I'll go back, and I think it's important to recap what we've reported previously about Utah. And that is that Utah did a deep dive into how it's fit and what would it mean for Utah to leave the Pac-12 and go to the Big 12. And ultimately, I would assume Taylor Randall was certainly a significant driver in that. But ultimately, what they came down to and what it landed on was not right now. Because I think that Utah is concerned about its academic standing. And as we've told you, Utah's not the top academic school in the Pac-12, nowhere near Stanford, who I think is what, third nationally. And then you fall off to Cal and USC and UCLA. But I think if you look at Utah's fit in the Big 12, they become the fourth highest rated educational institution in the Big 12 the moment they join, at 105th nationally. So I do think that that's problematic, because your bottom half of the conference in the Pac-12 academically, your top half of the conference in the Big 12. That's a significant difference for a school that's used to doing business with and having relationships, very close, near relationships with Cal and Stanford, SC and UCLA. That's really problematic. And I think the folks at Utah have no desire. Certainly, I can tell you firsthand from conversations we've had with authorities at Utah, people very high up the food chain, that Utah has no desire on any level to leave the Pac-12. Their desire is to figure this out. Their desire is to get the best TV deal they can and then move forward from there. Their desire has never been, and I don't think will ever be, to leave this conference. Now, does that mean that they're never going to leave? No, that's not what that means. What that means is I think people like Taylor Randall see value in keeping the business partners they currently have together in business because everybody is more comfortable with those relationships. I'm not telling you that's right. I just have it on pretty good authority that that's where they're at. So it is not surprising to me on any level to hear that President Randall at Utah is playing the peacemaker, that he is pushing resolve to give George Kliavkoff a chance to go out and make the best deal that he can. And I don't even at this point disagree with that operational theory. Go ahead and let George Kliavkoff find the best deal he can. At the end of the day, that's not the significant challenge. The significant challenge is keeping all of these individual corporations, if you will, the 10 remaining, schools in the Pac-10, to keep those 10 teams together if this TV deal does not work out. Because I think the Pac-12 has value with these 10 teams as it's currently constituted. I believe that. The question is that $400 million a year, or more to what most people think, is that $200 million a year? I think that's the significant consternation. That is the
anxiety.
Dividing line. The anxiety, thank you, is a very good word. And I think you hear all of these different presidents and all of these different schools, walking around talking about the fact that, hey, President Robbins at Arizona is like, yeah, I have great affinity for the Big 12. They're a basketball powerhouse.
I want it.
Well, at Arizona, that makes perfect sense because right now, guess what? You're not in a conference that is very good at basketball at all. And you're losing your second most valuable basketball brand at UCLA. And I think in recent times, we can make the argument UCLA is probably the most valuable basketball brand in the Pac-12. Mm-hmm. Well, that's going to the Big Ten. And I think, the other story that I hope you're paying attention to today is Gonzaga basketball. The fact that you got Ryan Nebhard from Creighton
Gonzaga
to transfer to Gonzaga today.
Gonzaga.
Arguably the best point guard in the country, Nebhard. Transfers from Creighton to Gonzaga today. That's incredible to me. Mm-hmm. That is a massive win for the boys in Spokane. Like, if you don't see that all of and Gonzaga is probably the best, but all of these lower tier schools, you look at a San Diego State with Snapdragon Stadium and the value of making that run to the top of the NCAA tournament. Deep, Final Four, NCAA championship game run. I don't that's incredibly valuable. Those shares are going to go on for years, right?
Yep.
You look at Nebhard going to Gonzaga and Gonzaga consistently competing for Sweet 16s and being one of the top teams in the country, competing for a number one seed every year in the tournament. These are big moves being made by schools that I think are marketing themselves. And I think as we've told you exclusively on this show, Gonzaga has a verbal invite to begin the membership process in the Big 12 anytime they would like.
Yeah.
And I think that's just simply a matter of time and timing. And again, with President Randall at Utah preaching patience, as soon as this TV deal is known, and I think as soon as they agree, hey, these are the best numbers we're going to get, take it or leave it, that's when you're going to start to see dominoes moving.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And I think that, we've heard, again, kind of like what you were saying about President Robbins, talking about how, hey, we just need to know. We need to know numbers. We need to know what our number is. We know what the Big 12's number is. We're just in this holding pattern, if you will. And I think that's the really tough part about the Pac-12 TV deals situation, if you will. That's the difficult part because you just feel like you're in this sort of, again, the best way I can describe it is holding pattern where you're waiting for something to happen. You've been waiting for, really, we're working on probably 10 months now, maybe 9 months. I mean, because the TV deal stuff really got going last summer, but, at that time you didn't expect a deal to happen right out the gate, obviously. So if we're generous about it, let's say you've been waiting since November for a TV deal to come down. And a lot of people say, oh, well, that's really not that long. I mean, November to April 21st now. I mean, that's really not that long to be out in the market looking for a TV deal. But what I counter that with is, yeah, you're right. It's not that long. But you didn't have that long to work with because the Big 12 did what the Big 12 did, and the Big 10 got the deal they got, and the SEC and ESPN got it figured out. So these three other power conferences got things figured out, and you've kind of been left to sit here. And so yesterday when the news comes out that Ion and the WNBA put a deal together to have RSNs broadcasting a Friday night doubleheader for the WNBA, that's exactly the deal that you were looking for in the Pac-12, and you didn't get. Largely because you were too greedy. Largely because you wanted to get paid $400 million, and that's not really what anybody wants to pay in the space. Not Apple, not Ion, not CW, not Amazon, not ESPN. Nobody wants to pay that or will pay it. So that's why I say, yes, it hasn't been a long time that you've been negotiating this thing, but also it feels like you've been trying to push this narrative that the TV deal is close to being done for a long time. And that's what I think the Pac-12 is fighting. They're fighting the momentum. They're fighting, hey, everyone knows that you're laying on the ground bleeding out, and they're waiting for you to be done bleeding out so they can go ahead and pick up the pieces. And that's what I think the problem is, and that's what I think guys like Taylor Randall, who are incredibly intelligent individuals, understand. They understand where the conference is at, and whether they're going to talk about that publicly or not doesn't really matter, but they get that. And that's why I say, ultimately, you can't rush through these things. You just have to stay the course. You just have to understand that one way or another, you're going to get a deal done, or it's not going to happen, and your conference is going to dissolve.
Yeah, and I think eventually this deal gets done. I don't have any doubt that this deal gets done. I don't have any doubt that at some point and on some level, I think you are going to see a significant, and again, this is just my opinion, a significant shift in support across this conference. I think that's inevitable to me. And what that means is you already have, from what our sources in the Pac-12 are telling us, you already have 4 solid presidents who are on the fence, whether they are staying or whether they are going. And I think when you look at those presidents, and I think you can clearly, I think that starts with Arizona, in my opinion. And every day that goes by, I hear somebody else say Oregon State's on the fence. Oregon State's on the fence. Mm-hmm. Oregon State, today it was Oregon State's in play for the Big 12.
If you ain't first, you're last.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt that, in fact, Oregon State can be had. It is simply a matter of how do you justify it if you are Oregon State. How do you go to your fellow presidents, and where do you get the balls to pull the trigger on a move to Big 12?
Well, I think the conversation...
How does that happen?
Yeah, well, I think, in my head, I mean, I don't know if this is exactly how it happens, but the way I think about Oregon State is they're obviously a second-tier school in the Pac-12. So they're one of these schools that, obviously has all these new facilities, and they've spent a bunch of money on infrastructure, and they are improving. I mean, they are no easy win playing at their place. There's no question about that. It is a fight every year, and multiple times in the last decade, schools who have been on top of the Pac-12 have gone there and lost, and their season has died. We know that. And I think that for Oregon State, the value is like, hey, yeah, we may not bring like 1 million people to the Tube, or we may not have like numbers of people watching us, but what we do have is quality facilities. We do have a high caliber of educational ability. Maybe not, highest in the land, but we're solid. And we would be a valuable addition to a conference. We're not even saying that we're the best in the land. We're not saying that we're some top tier thing, but that doesn't mean that we can't be a really valuable addition to the middle of your conference, to the meat of your conference. Because everybody always focuses on the top dogs, right? Like we always want to talk about SC, Ohio State, Utah, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Clemson. Like we just want to talk about these top 10 schools. And we don't want to think about the fact that, it's not the top 10, it's the AP top 25.
Right.
And so the school that's ranked like 16th or 18th still would have value to a conference. And I think, again, and I know I reference this every day, but that damn Mountain West Commissioner, Gloria Navarez, who came on our show, talked specifically about how if you can get into the expanded football playoff, you're going to make a bunch of money. So the fact that it's 10 teams now is a big deal. So I'm not suggesting that Oregon State is somehow going to automatically be a playoff team, but if they keep improving, if they get more notoriety in the Big 12, you can kind of see how, hey, maybe they could make a push 5 years from now.
Yep, absolutely right. By the way, oh boy, what do you not see in that frame?
Did someone take it?
Dude, the package is off our porch. My video froze. Oh, wow. What happened? Yeah, it's not there.
Okay,
It is not.
Do we have a text from Mrs. Monty?
I wonder if Mrs. Monty had somebody.
Did Mrs. Monty come in and save the day? Sorry to derail the show.
Yeah, it's just gone. Like my video. Oh my God. Okay. I'm not going to focus on the.
Yes. Look.
Oh,
boom.
Great. Perfect.
Clutch. Okay. We came in clutch. Mrs. Monty for the win.
Woo! Man, the neighbors got him.
Shit, damn, I am tripping.
Arturo Balderas.
Wow.
The four corner schools need to do what USC and UCLA did and pull Hakimi. Get out while you can and avoid paying the PAC exit fee. Well, there is no PAC exit fee. I mean, your contract is up after this year. There is no exit fee.
Well, I think the conversation with that, though, is like, hey, get out before you have to agree to a grant of rights. Like, obviously, they don't have to agree to anything, but it's like, all right, like if you're the last two teams or two institutions, I should say, to be holding up the grant of rights, you kind of have a decision to make. So I think that's kind of the thing.
Yeah, I totally agree. Marlon Shaw, my guy, what's up? Good to see you. Gives us a $10 tip. They need a calming influence with the new lawsuit filed for wrongful termination with respect to the overpayment fees. This could get ugly for the PAC. Yeah, I just don't know. That overpayment fee is a significant problem.
Yeah.
That overpayment fee that has to be given back it's a significant problem. It's just a matter of how and when that happens.
Yeah.
And I think there is significant dissent in this conference. And I as I said 10 minutes ago, I think there are four presidents on the fence. I think that President Kawhi at Washington does not want a streaming deal. And if my sources are correct, President Kawhi wants almost nothing on stream and everything on broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be impossible to get a grant of rights in this situation. I truly do. I don't see any way, shape, or form that you can get these 10 presidents on the same page and all put their signatures on the paper. I just don't see that happening.
Well, and it would be one thing if we were talking about an all linear deal, right? Like it would be like, okay, well, hey, if the gripe is just like NBC versus ESPN, okay, you can kind of work with that. Like at least then you could kind of see, all right, like let's say if Kawhi wanted ESPN instead of NBC, but the deal was NBC, you could kind of see how you might be able to work that out. But the fact that you're in a situation where you're working on linear and streaming, and we know that presidents like President Kawhi up at Washington, and there's a couple others who are not big fans of streaming, that's another added layer. And that's why I say, like, I find it interesting, not even comical anymore. I find it really fascinating that so many, Pac-12 fans are, and it's not just Utah fan anymore. There are a lot of fans who are real defensive and real gripey and real edgy about the fact that, hey, like, our conference is fine and we're going to get a TV deal and none of this stuff matters and it has no relation to us. And it's like, I wonder if, like, because that's the fan sentiment. And 9 times out of 10, even like 9.9 times out of 10, the fan sentiment has nothing to do with the actual situation. But I wonder sometimes, do you have presidents in the Pac-12 who are like this, like the WNBA Ion thing?
Sure.
Well, we talked to Ion, and that just wasn't going to be a fit. So this is totally unrelated to us. I wonder how they look at these potential opportunities that are just passing them by. You're going down the river, and you're
going down the river.
You float by Ion, then you float by the CW. Then ESPN comes up and is like, "Hey, dude, we're only paying you $9 million a year," so they're floating by. Like how many times are you gonna watch an opportunity just go right on down the riverbank, bro? How many times are you gonna watch that before you're like, yeah, probably should pull over and get a deal done?
Yeah, I think it is significant, and I think when you look at the way that this stuff is happening, I just don't know what you do here. I don't know how you fix this. And the lawsuit that is being referenced is the fired executives from the Pac-12 filed a lawsuit today that says, yeah, absolutely, the Larry Scott was aware of the overpayment. And it's incredibly damaging that this is the case it's being made. And these two fired executives from the Pac-12 today said some very damaging things, alleging unlawful termination, defamation, and breach of contract.
Yeah.
Mark Shucken and Brent Williams, who was at the middle of the Comcast argument because he was the former chief financial officer, made it very clear in their filings in Superior Court this week in San Francisco that Larry Scott was well aware of the situation with Comcast. And again, they did nothing about it. And it's shocking. It's shocking. And this suit, I don't know what the long-term ramifications of this suit are. And I don't know that anybody really knows what the long-term ramifications of this suit are. Mm-hmm. But I don't think there's any doubt that you have a situation where there's nothing good that ends here.
Yeah.
There's nothing good that ends here. Like there's no way, for this to end well.
Yeah.
For the Pac-12. Marlon Shaw also gives us $20 to say a really good article by Jeff Fuller discussing relative value of the Big 12, Pac-12, especially with respect to the trajectory of each conference. It provides good support and facts on why the Pac is struggling to get a deal. Well, I mean, I read the article and it pretty much is exactly what we've talked about for the last 9 months on this show. That you're the arrogance of the Pac-12 to just surmise, essentially. The arrogance of the Pac-12 has put them in a position where they believe their value is significantly higher than what anybody's willing to pay. And the old adage is that you are worth what somebody is willing to pay, period. That's your value. And they got beat to market by several organizations now that include the WNBA, the Big 12. You look at this situation with the regional sports networks and Script Sports and Ion TV just looming and waiting. Like, there's only so much money to go around.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Pac-12 fully grasps that. And I think when you look at the way that, like the article at ESPN 960, like, you look at the way that all of the thought processes on these work, and I'm just telling you now that it is going to be ugly. And I think this lawsuit that was filed this morning is just the beginning. This is just the beginning.
It is.
This is not the end by any stretch. Matt Ritzing gives us a $5 tip. I heard from 365 Sports, Apple TV wants Tier 1 Pac-12 rights. I don't know, that could be true. I think the discussion we had this week about Apple TV and MLS is all in on Apple TV. Why would Apple TV take a small piece of Pac-12 sports?
Yeah, that's been the conundrum since day one for Apple TV. They've always wanted Tier 1. That's not new. That's not somehow like, and I'm not even trying to hate on 365. Those guys do a great job. It really nothing to do with them, but like Apple TV's pitch or desire has always been, hey, we're not going to take one game a week. You're either going all in with us or you're not going in with us. So, and the issue with that is that, like I was just saying, you have several presidents, about 4 or 5 in the conference, who are not cool with streaming. They don't believe that streaming is an option as a Tier 1. They believe that linear has to be Tier 1, and then streaming is a secondary supplement to the TV deal.
Correct.
And that's the issue. So yeah, Apple TV has wanted Tier 1 since since I think we were talking about Apple TV since maybe January-ish or so.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and check, but we've been talking about this for 2 months now or so, that Apple TV's desire has always been Tier 1, and the problem is that Amazon is not competing with Apple TV because Amazon only wants one game a week because they want to go Thursday, Friday, and then see you later.
And notice that Amazon's been remarkably quiet.
Yeah.
Amazon has been remarkably quiet.
Yeah.
So, all of this is, in my opinion, a bunch of noise. All this is a bunch of noise. If you give every one of your sporting events to Apple TV, does it equal $400 million? It would be impossible.
And when you say every sporting event, you're talking about every football
Lock,
game?
stock, and barrel. Football, basketball,
Every
track
single
and field,
thing.
baseball, softball, swimming, everything.
Yeah.
Why would Apple pay $400 million? And if they would have, it would have been done already.
Yeah.
If they were going to pay $300 million,
would have been done. That's a
it would have
great
been
point.
done already.
Great point.
we wouldn't be sitting here heading for May without a Pac-12 TV deal. And we can, all this hyperbole and nonsense, we can go round and round. I'm just telling you now. I don't even know what else you say about that. By the way, I see we have 10 new members, so I'm guessing there was some member gifting going on. Thank you for that. I do not
I think it was there it is right there.
Where? Oh, Marlon Shaw gifted 10 memberships. Oh, Marlon going all in today.
Let's go. Friday
on the Monty
vibes,
program.
Baby.
Let's go. Yeah, Friday vibes.
Bro, it's Friday. How many gifted memberships can we do on a Friday? Our all-time record is like 81 in a show, I think it is, or whatever. So can we get to 30? Can we get to 30 gifted members today? We're at 10.
Would love to. And by the way,
time to start reading them.
Ron Long, Lil Jizzy, Mark Hales, Thomas Guest. You're going to play it for every name.
Every time, baby. Let's go.
Borlon Angel.
Let's go. Let's go.
JW. Kent Hone.
Kent.
Landon McCurdy. And Ron McClure. Welcome to the membership. We appreciate you very much. Always great to have you guys on the program and read your comments. Little spraining news out of the NBA. Ja Morant, a full participant in Grizzlies practice today. Taylor Jenkins says he is listed as questionable for tomorrow's Game 3, but he should be good to go.
Yeah.
That from Adrian Wojnarowski at ESPN. Let's get your comments in here, guys. We have a ton of comments today. As always, talking about Pac-12 sports, thanks to our friends at Bucked Up Energy. The official energy drink of the Monty Show is Bucked Up. You guys, settle down, okay? I have not been able to find Bucked Up Miami for like a week now.
Yeah.
I appreciate you buying it. How about you pour some out for Monty? Huh, Lil Monty?
What would I do without you?
Well, not little, but the point is,
Lil Monty.
How about you pour some out? Now, Mango Tango is not a bad alternative.
I want it.
There you go.
Very good.
Smooth.
Bucked Up Energy, buckedupenergy.com. Use the promo code Monty to get 20% off your purchase. Paxton Dinovu. Yeah, of course he's pushing patience and trying to keep the conference together. Utah's not guaranteed a spot.
Another interesting point. I mean, that's interesting.
So let me ask you this. Utah calls the Big 12 today and says we're in. What does the Big 12 say?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to say yes, but I think the thing is like this concept of, okay, well, what happens if like the Pac-12 melts down, everyone moves, and Utah's not involved in that for whatever reason. I have a hard time believing that, frankly, but let's say they weren't. Then I think that's where this kind of comment comes into play. But I don't think everyone wants to say, oh, well, Utah prioritizes education over anything, and I don't disagree with that. But at the same time, you can't tell me, again, that someone of Taylor Randall's intelligence is going to allow his school to be left behind at the bus stop and not go to where everyone else is going to if your conference didn't exist anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, in theory they don't have a spot, but at the same time, they somebody will pick up Utah, and that somebody would be the Big 12, especially knowing how aggressive Brett Yormark is.
Hey ho, Michael Williams gifting 10 memberships.
Let's go. Pull it out. Yeah, change the camera there, Slick.
Let's go. Pull it out. Sorry,
let's pull it out here. Hey!
Appreciate that. Thank you very much, Michael Williams. Always good when we get on board and we get 10 new members. And boy, that went fast. Chad Masters, John Dry, Tony Jarvis, Owen Lovell, Ahmad El Bashir, Nathan Brown, Jordan Royal, Danny Guzman, Ronnie Johansson.
Go,
welcome to the club.
Let's go. Get it going today.
That's
so
20.
That's 20 now. Let's go. We need 10 more.
Appreciate that very much, Michael Williams. Thank you. Saul Goodman says, you got them right. Okay. Ryan Fair, CU and U of A need to leave before the Big 12 offers them a deal where they don't get their $32 million cut year one. I think that deal's already been offered, and I think that's part of the reason that people are not leaving. Because I think that if you were offering full flight deals to people, if you were offering 100% equity, people would have left already. But I think part of the thinking in the Big 12 is people are still on the panic button right now. And, okay, well, you want to leave? Leave for less. 5 years from now, you'll be a full flight member.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's the rationale. And one of the things that I've heard is, hey, make the college football playoff, it automatically triggers 100% equity. Make the NCAA final, it already triggers 100% equity, right?
Yes.
Like, there's a lot of negotiating going on because these deals are not boilerplate. This is something that I don't think we've ever seen before. Sure, we've seen realignment. Mm-hmm. We've seen USC and UCLA and Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen it in this form or fashion. The Big East kind of, but the Pac-12 is not on the verge of collapse. I don't get that feeling today that the Pac-12 is on the verge of collapse. So I think there's negotiating that's happening. You can't tell me if you'd offered Arizona, a full fare that they wouldn't have gone, because I think they would have gone.
Totally agree.
I think they would have gone. Saul Goodman says Colorado and Arizona State. Dave Patrick says, so you traded your cable cord with your internet cord. But I don't think cord cutting's an issue anymore. I really don't.
An issue in what sense?
In the sense of, yeah, sure, people are leaving DirecTV, but they're going to YouTube TV, let's say, where they're getting all of that same programming. ESPN, on certain levels, has bulletproofed themselves from cord cutting because they were smart to be an early adopter of Google. They were smart to be an early adopter into other people distributing, and then they saw the money that they were not making on that. So they got very aggressive with ESPN.com, the ESPN app, ESPN Plus, and now they're not distributing to anybody. YouTube TV needs ESPN.
Yes.
So it's a really smart deal, and I also think now that when you look at the way that ESPN is structured, you can't just, if you're YouTube TV, because that's what's in the front of my mind, you can't just take ESPN. You have to take the Disney Channel. Of course, you're taking ABC. But you have to take the Disney Channel, and you have to do this other stuff now. Because ESPN is such a powerful pull, because they've got the SEC, and they've got the college football playoff, and they've got the Big 12. And like, they have everything that you want. They've got early round coverage of the Masters.
Of course.
They have that. So now everybody wants ESPN. So ESPN's pretty much bulletproof themselves from cord cutting. Mm-hmm. Now, do they want you to keep DirecTV? Sure they do. That's a revenue stream for them. But I think the thing that ESPN realizes is, well, if they leave DirecTV, they're still coming here because they have no other place to get SEC football.
Yeah.
So they've really done a nice job of insulating themselves, even from these layoffs with Disney. ESPN's going to go through layoffs. But knowing a ton of people that work there, I don't believe these layoffs will affect ESPN's operational ability. It won't. They're making Disney far too much money to do that. Are they going to cut top-line talent that is making a ton of money? I'm guessing they will. Mm-hmm. But when you look at the Marcus Spears deal, Marcus Spears just renewed his contract. He got a massive payday from ESPN. So it's not like they don't have money, and this is the same thing I say about Amazon. Everybody's like, well, Amazon's laying everybody off. No, they're not. What they are doing is they are not hiring, and they are laying off the fat. They are trimming the fat off the brisket, dude, because they overhired because they had demand during the pandemic, which now just naturally has come down. But you look at Facebook, that's a company where you're like, uh-oh, because they're laying off people because they double hired for the same position. They hired into the metaverse because, Freakazoid that runs that company was so positive that people wanted to own land next to Snoop Dogg.
That doesn't exist.
And it's never really taken off.
Yeah.
The metaverse doesn't really exist. And nobody has figured out how to monetize the metaverse. Mm-hmm. They just haven't. And so what you have is companies like ESPN and Disney are being very smart. Disney is on a different level. You've got this situation with Disney World in Orlando.
Yeah.
With Ron DeSantis and the land and the board. And okay, that's one thing. You have less than stellar numbers on Disney Plus. You would like that to be far better. Okay, that's one thing. But ESPN, make no mistake about this, friends. And I think there are mistakes made on this every single day. Make no mistake about this. ESPN is what's right at Disney. ESPN Plus is a revenue-generating behemoth, and every day it makes more money.
Yeah, and when
every single day.
When I look at ESPN, I view it more as like they're just dialing in percentages. It's not like because everybody uses the same verbiage. Oh, we're laying off people, but it's different for every company's structure. So ESPN's in the content making business. They just are. Whether you find that on the internet or on a TV, they don't really care. They're just making sure that they cover all their bases. And if paying Marcus Spears $1 bazillion to make content for them, whether it's on TV or on ESPN Plus, is the way forward, then they're going to do that. But they don't need like 50 extra people. They need what they need, and that's it. They need what covers their bases and what gets the job done every day. And that's it. So them laying people off isn't like, oh my God, let's panic. ESPN's melting down and Disney's going out of business. That's not what it is for Disney. And you can kind of see how it would be different, like he was explaining, with a company like Facebook who isn't in content making. They're in a social media platform and all these different things. It's much more, like Facebook is much more, office kind of like, corporate America, traditional job vibe. And ESPN is much more of like, hey, in the pandemic, we had all these extra content needs, so we hired all these extra people. And now we don't have those needs anymore. So now it's time to lay people off. And that's why I feel like people overblowing the ESPN, layoffs just don't understand why it's different for ESPN. But it's crucial you understand that, especially in parlance to the Pac-12 TV deal and the fact that ESPN has their number, and that's pretty much it. They know what they want to pay, and they're not going to pay a cent more. So it's crucial you understand why that's different.
Yeah, and I think that it's very easy to guess, and it's very easy. And I would really encourage you to be careful with this. I think it is very easy for people to be like, oh, ESPN's dying. Look at all these layoffs. They're not. Oh, Amazon's dying. Look at all these layoffs. They're not. You look at the companies, you're like, this Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson interview. I don't know how many people saw this. The Twitter layoffs were probably illegal. And Elon Musk as much as admitted that to Tucker Carlson. And now there's all kinds of people talking about lawsuits. Like, when people are laying off because they're desperate or they have to cut back. And when people are just playing corporate games.
Yes.
And I think when you look at Disney, it's amazing to me. Like ESPN Plus, dude, it is. Do you understand why they raised their price? They went from $6.99 to $9.99. Do you understand why they did that? To shorten the curve on profitability. Because I would guess, and I want to say that it's by the end of this year, that ESPN Plus will be not only profitable, but one of the most profitable units at ESPN. Because they just keep doing content deals and they just keep putting live events on the app. Like everybody, if you're a sports fan, you have the ESPN app on your phone.
Yep.
You do, because where was I watching basketball last night?
Yep.
It's too easy for us as sports fans. It's just too easy.
Yep.
It really is.
Yeah.
Dave Patrick says Utah won't be welcome. Their arrogance keeps them out. I totally disagree.
Yeah.
I totally disagree. Cohen Wiley, what's up, Cohen? Good to see you, dude.
What's up, buddy?
Connor Tulin, I don't understand how I get one. How you get one what?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
What do you mean? Delaric, my guy, what's up? He is the one that I will be the last on the bus. Taylor Randall, you mean? Mr. Monkey says, of course Taylor Randall is intelligent. He's in the PAC. See what we did there? There's a little...
That was well done.
A little arrogant there. By the way, 1984, thank you for the $4.99 tip. Appreciate that. Bob Holsey. If the Utes don't want the Big 12, they shouldn't join. I think Utah should stay right where they are. I don't know that it's a want or not want. And I think fans on both sides of this conversation get a little uppity about this. I don't think they're even being arrogant by saying not right now.
Mm-hmm.
I understand it clear as day. When you have academics making these decisions, what is there to question? What is there to question? Look at the top half of the Pac-12 academically.
Mm-hmm.
Who's putting up the fights in the Pac-12? Well, you know Washington's at the top of the conference, right? They're, what are they, top 5 academically? I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that when you look at the elites of academics in the current incarnation of the Pac-12, I mean, it's Stanford number 1. And then I would guess Cal or USC is number 2.
Mm-hmm.
But Washington's there, USC's there. Like all of the power players, those are the ones at the top of the conference, with the exception of Cal. Because Stanford can write its own ticket and go to any conference it wants. Any conference will, quite literally today, pay full freight to get Stanford in their conference.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're an ATM machine.
Mm-hmm.
You bring them in, everybody in that conference makes more money because Stanford's part of your conference. And it has nothing to do with academic or athletics. It's all academics.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to understand. And I think if we do a quick lookup, and I could be wrong about this, if we do a quick lookup of the rankings in the Pac-12 academically, I would guess that number one is Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is Cal. Number 3 is UCLA. Number 4 is USC. And number 5 is Washington. All of those schools. And who's number 6? It's got to be Boulder. It is Colorado. I mean, like, you guys, this isn't rocket science. All of those schools, who have you heard about moving? Well, obviously 3 and 4, UCLA and USC are gone already, right? But you look at, hey, well, what's the Big Ten after? The Big Ten's after Oregon, Washington, Stanford, and Cal.
Yeah.
3 of those 4 are at the top of this list, right? Who's the Big 12 after? Big 12 is after the lower academic teams because academics in the Big 12 don't really matter, I don't think.
Yeah.
So who are they after? Arizona State. You look at Utah. What is Utah? 9th or 10th? 9th in the Pac-12 in academics. ASU is 10th. Oregon State's 11th. And Washington State is dead last in 12th, ranked 212th in the country.
Yeah. Not good.
Right? But who's heard about Washington State? I have not. Has anybody heard Oregon State up until the last few weeks? I have not. Arizona State, all up in the middle of it in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Utah, all up in the middle of it in the Big 12. 105th in the country. Number 8, Arizona, all up in the middle of it in the Big 12.
Yep.
You understand, like, academics matter. You don't have to like that. You can call that arrogance. Academics matter. Who's in demand? Washington, Oregon, Stanford, and Cal.
Yeah.
And I just continue to tell you, when you are a top half of a conference, and what is Oregon? Somewhere like, and now I close it, but I think Oregon's 7th in the conference.
Yeah.
But what do they have that can make up for academics?
Bread.
Cash. Like, this is, I've always, and I know on this show, I've been this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I've never understood why this is confusing to people. Because it's not arrogance, it's business. It's not highfalutin, you're an asshole. No, it's not. It's money. That's what this is. It's money. It's how these people get paid and pay other massive-brained people to come in and be part of their university.
Yes.
Right?
Simple.
And it was the other day I was talking to a dude who's like, think about the hiring process. If you're Utah, and you can say to Professor Dickweed, hey, Dickweed, come work for us.
Hey, guys.
We're doing a partnership with Cal on this, Stanford on this. We're doing a partnership with USC on this. I'm like, it is, there's nothing to talk about.
Look here, man.
There's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's like, great, let's do it. I want to be affiliated with Stanford.
Who doesn't?
Like, you're talking about the top half of the Pac-12 going to the Big Ten.
So that's what I'm saying. Like Dude.
Dude.
Athletics matter, but like when you're Stanford, you're number 3 in the country. Athletics don't matter as much.
And I understand that pisses people off, but this is me personally. This does not confuse me or trifle me or be like, man, I don't understand what them boys up on the hill are doing. Oh, shit. Let's go play some football. They don't want to play football. Taylor Randall doesn't give a shit about football. He wants research money. He wants medical money, right? Like he's got one of the best cancer centers in the world. He wants medical money. He wants research money. He wants people that are of higher education, big-time thinkers, big-time academics to come and do research, to come and work for the Huntsman Cancer Institute. That's what he wants. That's way more important to him than winning a conference championship.
Yeah.
This is not difficult to understand. And if you don't, I'm not saying, I'm not making it personal to you, but I'm just telling you, if this is confusing to you, I really want to understand why. Let's see. Marlon Shaw, I totally understand the woke Disney issue. He said to Ron, okay. Ron must be talking about woke Disney. I don't know. Rick Olson, ESPN is in the process of laying off 10,000 people. They're not. They're not laying off 10,000 people. Disney is laying off 10,000 people. ESPN, and again,
I thought the number was like 3,000 for ESPN, isn't it?
I believe it is. It is not, you guys, there's not 10,000 people to lay off at ESPN. I'm trying to get that, dude. Like, it is the Disney's reporting that they will max their reductions at 7,000. This is in an article today from CNBC, and that ESPN will lay off from 1,500 to 2,000 people. Do you understand? And I'm not trying to be a jerk about this, Rick Olson. ESPN's not laying off 10,000 people.
No.
Like, you got to stop with this nonsense.
Yeah, and I think the other thing you got to understand for ESPN as a business entity, cutting available jobs on the internet is also a big thing. So, like, ESPN is cutting, or slashing 7,000 positions. That doesn't mean you're laying people, actual human beings, off. What you're saying is, hey, we're really trimming this down, and we're getting super focused on, hey, we're doing this thing really well and really efficiently.
Disney on the whole is doing two things to meet that 7,000 reduction number. Disney is going to, A, stop hiring in certain business units. Mm-hmm. They are going to close unfilled open positions. So I think that's like 1,100. They have 1,100 open positions that they are going to close. And they are going to reduce top-line earners. That's where ESPN comes in. ESPN will reduce top salaries and talent. And Reese Davis is a very interesting conversation in all of this. It is going to be interesting to see exactly who ESPN keeps or lays off. And they have not had massive layoffs. They've done like hundreds of layoffs here and there. Well, at ESPN, they laid off, I think in 2020, they laid off 300, but they hired and continued to hire more people into open positions. Mm-hmm. Now, what Disney is doing is closing positions and laying other people off. So it is not like, and the other thing you have to remember is you're talking about ESPN, who's about to bid billions of dollars a year on the NBA. Billions, not millions, not tens of millions. I said billions of dollars.
Yeah.
On the NBA. Like, it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. J.K. Marshall, do you guys realize ESPN isn't profitable? On the whole, as a bubble, I don't know. Maybe, listen, I talk to people every day at ESPN. I know I used to work there, for full transparency. I used to work at ESPN Radio. And I have a lot of friends there. And the idea, if you're sitting here, if you are saying that ESPN's not profitable, okay, if you just look at we spent this much money and we took in this much money, we're not profitable. Okay, that might be true. But when you look at the overall scope and all of their business lines, they're very profitable. The ESPN is one of the most profitable businesses at ESPN and Disney. At Disney, rather. ESPN is one of their most profitable business units. So it is amazing to me that when you look at their business, and I'm just looking at tax filings for 2022, they did $8.5 billion. And that's profit. That's not income. That's not income. Understand that. They brought in $8.5 billion. And the other part of it that you have to remember is that doesn't include advertising revenue, which is all done on the bottom line at Disney.
Yeah.
So if you're just, and again, if you're just looking at, ESPN's, like if you just look at the news reports, you have to look at Disney as a company and how much of Disney's business units, like you look at Disneyland and ESPN. ESPN brings in a significant number of revenue streams to Disney World and Disneyland.
Yes.
Because they have, like the Atlanta Braves do spring training at the Wide World of Sports and ESPN for how many years, right? You look at spring training baseball. You look at football. Football's a perfect example. How much money does the NFL rebate to ESPN for travel expenses? How much money does the NFL rebate to ESPN? Like they have, you can't look at it as we're paying this much, we're making this much. Because that's not the way business is done. Especially out of a behemoth like Disney and one of their business units, ESPN. You have to understand where the money comes in and where the money goes out. I don't think anybody argues ESPN has absolutely been an ATM machine for Disney. It absolutely has been. Was there a time where they dipped? Absolutely. When they went through cord cutting and did not have the infrastructure to rebound from that, there's no question about that. But now you look at the last three, really it's 3 whole years, three whole cycles for ESPN Plus. I mean, the sky is quite literally.
ESPN Plus has 23 million subs and generates $5.1 billion in streaming revenue a quarter for ESPN. So don't tell me that they're not profitable.
So ESPN, and here's the other thing, and I'm glad you brought that up. ESPN, make sure you understand that that's not just ESPN TV.
That's just
because
Plus.
There's ESPN, there's ESPN Plus, there's ESPN Digital, there's ESPN Radio, which operates in a different scope. I mean, you can't just say ESPN's not profitable. Are the TV numbers down? Like if you look up the subscriber income from ESPN television, this will tell you a whole lot more. Like, do you understand the money, even with cord cutting, do you understand the money per subscriber that ESPN makes? It's insanity, dude. It's absolutely insane. ESPN is not losing money. I don't know how much more I can say about that. Like they are making billions alone on ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
So like we can go round and round about this. The bottom line is these teams in the Pac-12 have other options.
Yeah. So ESPN Plus's revenue per subscriber is at an all-time high. It's at $5.53 per subscription, which when you obviously extrapolate that out to, 23 million, you get your number, right? You get your overall number. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I just think it may say that ESPN is not profitable or whatever, or whatever you were referencing there, but I'm telling you guys, ESPN and ESPN Plus are incredibly profitable for Disney, and Disney Plus is the problem child. Disney Plus regularly loses money for Disney, and they're trying to figure out how to Band-Aid that. So say what you want.
CNBC has an article from January right here that talks about the fact that ESPN Plus revenue is being drugged by Disney Plus streaming shortfalls. Like, just understand the business model. Why do people, maybe this is a conversation we need to have. Why do people hate ESPN so much?
Yeah, what's the thing?
What is it that makes you so willing to just like spread half-truths about ESPN? Because I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The research is out there. The research is out there. Do you really think that ESPN, if they were losing billions of dollars, do you under the estimate for the NBA contract at ESPN per year coming up is $4.5 billion per year?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to pay the NBA $4.5 billion to be the main distribution partner. The NBA is looking for $8 to $10 billion per year on their TV rights. ESPN is going to pay $4.5 billion per year for the NBA. And that doesn't account for whoever their weekday, like, you know, that ESPN has the weekend, Christmas, you know, Wednesday night. So like the TNT deal, doesn't account for any of that. That's just ESPN and ABC's NBA package per year, $4.5 billion. Do you really think that Bob Iger, who's talked about being much more pragmatic with streaming or with rights fees, if they were in trouble, would they really be paying $4.5 billion a year to the NBA?
No.
Stop. That's what we need to understand. So in the comment section, I would love to hear from you as to why you don't like ESPN. I think it's a really important conversation, as is use the promo code Monty25 tonight at Papa Murphy's Pizza to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more on the meatball marinara.
At Papa Murphy's, we do more than just pizza. We do meatballs and marinara.
Papa Murphy's does meatballs?
Oh, I think you mean I do the meatballs and marinara?
And how do you do it, Dad?
How do I do it? How do I do it?
Oh, well, we do it with savory ground beef
Covered in tangy marinara. That's how, honey.
At Papa Murphy's, we make great pizza.
And don't forget the meatballs.
Order now at papamurphys.com.
Papa Murphy's Pizza. Download the Papa Murphy's mobile app. It's the easiest way to order. And the thing I love about the Papa Murphy's mobile app is you can order your pizza at 3 a.m. for a 6:30 p.m. pickup. Like, you set the time that you want to pick it up, and then it's on the to-go rack right by the front door. Every time I order, we usually get a pizza. We usually get the meatball marinara and the take and bake chocolate chip cookies. It's on the rack. You walk in, and it's usually, hey, thank you, pick it up off the rack and leave. You don't even have to talk to anybody or see anybody because you pay right through the app. It saves your credit card information if you want it to. Like, it is so easy. It remembers your orders, so you can just hit reorder. It's phenomenally easy app to use. It's the Papa Murphy's Pizza mobile app. Monty25 to get 25% off your purchase of $25 or more at Papa Murphy's Pizza. The Monty Show, as always, is presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business are The Advocates. And again, I ask you, so many people, every time I bring up workman's comp, somebody will DM me inevitably and say, hey, you know, the other day it was, hey, I dropped some drywall on my foot. This guy was telling me this whole story like, hey, do you think that's a workman's comp case?
What?
I'm like, well, you got hurt at work, right? Well, yeah. If you get hurt at work, that's not your fault, man. And the thing I always say is, I agree, it's critical in the workman's comp category to keep an open line of communication with your company. There's no doubt. But let your attorneys do that because you have nothing to lose by going to The Advocates, theadvocates.com. If you're in Utah, utahadvocates.com. And just chatting with an attorney live online for free, 24/7, costs you nothing. It's free. There's no consultation fees. There's no retainers because you don't pay the advocates until they win your case. Hey, you got hurt at work today? Get online and say, hey, I got hurt at work today. I just want to talk to somebody about it. You can even do it anonymously if you really want to and just get some advice. And what you're going to see is the advocates have seen everything. They've been in business for so many years. I've known Matt Driggs, one of the partners and founders at the Advocates, for over 10 years now. And they're just good people. They care about the communities that they service, which I'm absolutely passionate about. I would tell you have nothing to lose. Theadvocates.com, the best injury attorneys in the business are the Advocates. All right, let's get some thoughts on ESPN. Brad Turner, I have no problem with ESPN. Don't know anything about their ethics or morals. Would never recommend watching anything other than live sports there. Any talk shows are just sensationalizing.
I don't disagree with that.
Stephen A. Smith makes me crazy.
Yeah, I think ESPN's talking head shows are just okay. My favorite by far, and I don't really even love it, but Get Up has been, I think, is the most quality one that they do.
Well, Greeny is great. I like Mike Greenberg a lot.
Does a lot of good work.
I really miss Mike and Mike in the morning. I miss that radio show. It was on TV. One of the great thrills of my life was the first show I ever did live in Bristol at ESPN Radio was in the Mike and Mike studio.
Yeah.
And it was super cool. And I mean, it was a great show. Mike Greenberg, I like the guy a lot. He's a really good human being. He worked in Chicago for a long time, which is where I first got to know of him. But just his work in the NFL, his work on the radio, his work on Get Up, Greeny, the radio show, like we listen to that usually driving into the office in the morning. Like, I like Mike Greenberg a lot. Owen Lovell, good to see you, Owen. I wish they would allow alternate commentator streams. Some NCAA football games have the worst commentators, my God.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Try being a hockey fan and having to listen to like really bad hockey play-by-play. It's the worst thing in the world. Ryan Fair, what's up, Ryan? Good to see you, man. Stephen A. is the Fox News of sports media. Could not agree more. Could not agree more. Rick Olson in 2021, ESPN. Oh, wow. Lorenzo Styles. Okay, so I'm a Notre Dame fan. You guys probably don't care about this. Lorenzo Styles, the wide receiver at Notre Dame, is transferring because he wants to switch to defensive back, and Notre Dame would not facilitate that move. They wanted him to stay at wide receiver, so that's interesting. Rick Olson says, in 2021, ESPN lost 8 million subscribers. Yes, they are profitable, but they are on the downswing. Rick, I don't know how many more ways I can say this for you, dude. They're not on the downturn. You're talking about ESPN television. And when they say 8 million subscribers, those are people in their houses who no longer have ESPN on cable or DirecTV or Dish Network because they cut the cable. So they no longer have those subscribers.
Which is not really about ESPN.
But what they're seeing is, what are those people doing? They're getting TV somewhere else. And usually, if they're going to Paramount Plus, let's say, right? Okay, I'm not getting ESPN on Paramount Plus, but I'm getting it on my smart TV, the smart TV app, which counts as digital viewership. And usually most people have a tablet or a phone, and they almost overwhelmingly have the ESPN app. It is the number one app in sports.
Yeah.
So those 8 million subscribers are television viewers who are no longer television viewers. They're getting their entertainment somewhere else. ESPN is not on the downturn. Is that money they'd like to have? Sure. Because I think each one of their subscribers is $4 on TV. So that's a lot of bread, dude. That's absolutely a lot of bread. But they're replacing that with ESPN Plus.
Which is, by the way, not to cut you off, but ESPN Plus is how much now? $9.99.
$9.99.
So not only did they replace that person, they're making more money on that person.
So which, by the way, I subscribe to ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
Because I watch a lot of sports on my phone. I will have a game on the TV and I will have a game on my phone. I happen to be a casual observer of the UFC, so I watch a lot of UFC pre-fight stuff. Like, it's all in the ESPN app. Teddy Wayman, the Tile King of Utah, who kicked my ass again.
Uh-oh. What do we got?
Ooh, that's a chime.
More front door camera action here?
That is a chime.
What do we got here?
That is a chime.
What do we got? Come on.
Amazon. Let's go.
Bro, is it raining at the house?
It is raining in
Bro,
South Jordan.
What are we doing?
Damn it. Yes, that is Amazon dropping off somebody's Callaway golf clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Will we call in the neighbor again? By the way, we're off at 5 today. We're only doing a 2-hour show today, just so you know. Teddy Wayman, the Tile King of Utah. Sup, guys? Knicks and Cavs going to be lit.
Yeah, we can get an NBA.
Well, it's interesting. Let's mix in a little NBA because, by the way, did anybody see Monty Make You Money last night? Now, first of all, I do want to get to your stupid, ridiculous, oh, man, you better go with the Beam Team.
Yeah, what happened? Beam Team Energy's not there anymore?
What did I tell you about Golden State last night?
You told me you were a Sacramento Kings fan.
I am not a Sacramento Kings fan, you dastardly turd.
No, you said
I
warned
warned
the
you.
Warriors are a better
you.
home team, and the numbers say that. It's not in dispute. Warriors are much better at home. That's what he said.
I was terrified of that game, and I think Teddy actually said stay away. Somebody said stay away from it, which I believe was our recommendation on that. Knicks tonight. Monty makes you money.
We are all here for.
Dude, this is the only game of the night.
Yeah.
It is the Cavs at the Knicks. The Knicks are 1.5 at home at 211. Now, Teddy Wayman.
Yeah, where's my boy at?
Our resident bookie. I mean,
Our resident position maker.
positioner.
Yeah,
He
positioner. There
makes
you go.
positions over Hot Moms and Draper.
Right. That's correct.
He would never gamble his own money on sports in Utah. That's illegal, and Teddy is aware of that. I love the Knicks in this game. The one thing that scares you, and Teddy, I would love to hear you on this. Donovan Mitchell is going to have a gigantic game tonight. It's in the Garden.
The Garden.
It is the temple of basketball.
Really his first game of consequence in the Garden.
Okay, I'll stop. I'm too bucked up. This is Don's first really big game at the Garden.
Yes.
His entire family's going to be there. I'm terrified of that. I'm telling you, though, as Rick Foster or Forster is well aware, the Knicks are going to win this game. The Knicks are going to win this game. And Rick's like, dude, it's the Mecca of basketball.
Yeah, can you get it right, please?
It is. It is. I'm stupid, so I apologize.
Facial recognition.
But you know. Yes, facial recognition.
Facial recognition.
Look right at the camera as you walk in the Mecca of basketball tonight.
Facial recognition.
That game is about 2 hours away. I think in the Mecca of basketball tonight, this is a game I think you're going to bet one of two ways. You're a Knicks fan, so you're going to take the Knicks. If you want to make money on this game, now hear me clearly on this. Don't come knocking on my door tonight. You want to make money on this game, you take the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the props on the Cavaliers. And again, remember, I would like everybody to remember last night. I believe I told you to take the prop bet on Golden State.
You did. I remember that. You did.
Okay? This is another one of those games where I'm telling you, really consider the prop bets on this game, because if you look at this game tonight, you can get it like if we look at, I don't know, let's go first basket props. Donovan Mitchell's plus 500 on the first basket. I mean, that's a huge number.
And this is first basket of the game or
first basket, first field goal of the game.
Damn.
Okay? Cavaliers' first team field goal is Don plus 230. By the way, it's Jalen Brunson plus 230 as well. Mm-hmm. Or Julius Randle, the same digit.
Yeah, Don plus 500 for the first basket of the game is nice.
That's not a bad bet at all.
Nah.
But when you start looking at game lines, the number I like in this game a whole lot. A whole lot. And granted, most of the money is on the Knicks. Mm-hmm. There is a plus 300 on the Cavs at 8.5. You want to show me how big your balls are?
Dude.
Bet the Cavs buy it down to minus 8.5. I think that's where I would be going in this game, because I'm terrified that Donovan Mitchell is going to go for 70. And I'm not even exaggerating. Yeah, you're exactly right, Teddy Wayman, who gives us $2 to say, you broke. You ain't got $2 to rub together after last night. But I'm taking Don and the Cavs in this one, Monty. I have to agree with that. I have to agree with that. And you know what, Rick? I agree with this too. Quentin Grimes might be making that bread now, because Quentin Grimes has been pretty damn good for these Knickerbockers. Mm-hmm. Right? And I'm telling you right now, we'll be at Topgolf watching this game in West Jordan.
Damn right we will.
I don't want excuses about your slice.
My slice? I can't even swing a club right now. I'm garbage.
I'm with you on this, Rick. I think there's a real good chance for that. Fear the deer.
Yeah.
First basket betting, I always look at the center tip and who gets the first possession.
Totally agree.
Does DK offer that?
It would be Jared Allen and Mitchell Robinson.
I don't think
it should be.
Do they offer that? Player props, player threes, assists, steals, blocks, turnovers, team props. Field goals made, no. I don't think DraftKings offers that. Ooh, Cleveland Cavalier rebounds, 39.5, minus 110. They're not getting 39. That's going to be tough.
They don't have the size to get 39.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just telling you, some of these games, the Donovan Mitchell combo, dude, Donovan Mitchell 40, goddamn, man. Pat your kitty cat when you hear Donovan Mitchell over or under tonight is 40.5.
Dude.
DraftKings has over 40 at plus 105.
That's
under.
it?
Yes, that's it.
That's it. That's got
Under. No. Under 40. Here's the crazy thing. You want to make $100? Under 40.5 for Don is minus 135. To make 100, you have to bet 135.
Okay, let me ask you guys this.
God damn.
Do you think, because when you look at someone getting 40, this is how I like to think of big games for players. Look at it by quarter. Do we believe that Donovan Mitchell can get 4 buckets a quarter? Take the 3 ball out of it, right? Like, let's just assume threes don't exist. If he's making it on threes,
it's got to be 5 buckets a quarter, 5 twos. Give me 4 twos and a 3 every quarter. Can he do that?
I think so.
Because that's 11 points.
I have no doubt that he can get 4 twos a quarter. There are times where he's cold from 3, though.
What do you guys? Let's do it. You guys, I'll put up a 25. No, I can't.
No, you can't do that, dude. Nope, can't do that.
I want to so bad.
Can't do that, bro.
I could do that. We're not in. I actually think we can do that.
We should check before we do. I ain't trying to break laws.
Broadcasting live from Brooklyn tonight. The Monty Show.
Sorry if you're
Prove me wrong, man.
Hey, Monty.
Prove me wrong. I would love to put up a $25 Amazon card on that, but we can't do that.
No.
We can't. We may have to start doing that.
Yeah, we need to look into that.
We may have to start doing that. Okay. I think you got to bet the Cavs tonight. Guys, where do you come down on this?
No, over/under on 40 though with Don. I think I'd be
over.
betting over.
Over.
Yeah, I think that
over.
I think that Don's going to have a massive first half. I'm talking 25 plus in the first half, and I think that the second half is going to be the tough one for him. He will come out,
I think so,
feeling good, blazing hot, and then the second half will be tough.
I think so. Saul Goodman says screaming A. Smith exactly. Riley O'Brien, you're being a jerk, sir, but this is so good. Jamison Williams wants in on this one.
Chill out, bro. Chill, bro.
Somebody needs to get a memo to the Detroit Lions. Gambling on the NFL is illegal, sir. Did you guys hear about that today? My God.
Yeah.
5 players in the NFL. And I think 7 total people, employees and players at the Lions got caught betting. Okay, the rule in the NFL is you can wager. You can never bet on the NFL. And you can never wager of any kind on any sport in a team. Wow.
Bro.
In a team facility or during team activities. Any team activities. If you're at home taking a crap while you're watching a team meeting on Zoom, you can't be betting on sports. Ever.
Which is allegedly something like that happened. I can't remember the other kid's name who got 6 games. They were talking about how it was a location thing with him. That he didn't break the betting on NFL games rule.
It was at the airport on the waiting for the team flight.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, so they were in, and I could be wrong about this because honest to God, I was listening to this on the radio this morning. This kid was at the airport so they all charter. They have a special lounge. If you've never taken a charter flight, they have a special lounge. Mm-hmm. You park your car in a certain parking lot, and then you walk out of your car, walk through a gate, and into this lounge. He was in the lounge betting on the NBA.
Yeah.
And he got caught. And now he got suspended 6 games. So the only reason that he's not suspended for an entire year or indefinitely is because he wasn't betting on the NFL.
Yeah.
It's nasty. Dude, it's absolutely nasty. Jet Wayman. Prize Picks doesn't have any juice on the over or unders. Don's point prop is only 29.5. And yes, I took the over.
You should. That's
you
easy,
should've.
bro. Yeah.
You should have. Ken Williams says burp good. Sometimes it just comes out.
Ken is turned into a huge bucked up guy. My guy's buying case on case.
Are you really?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Somebody needs to buy me some flipping my...
Yeah.
I need to get...
Yeah,
we need to get our guy on the show.
Bro, can we get an airdrop to Casa de Monty?
Ryan Gardner needs to come on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe I will email my dude
can
and say,
you
hey.
can you facilitate his presence on the show?
Yeah, Ryan Gardner. I will email the owner of Bucked Up right now and get him on the show. And by the way, where's my Miami? Everybody always says this. We don't get anything for free from any of our advertisers.
Yeah.
Just so you're aware, all of the Bucked Up we drink on this show, all the product we use on the show, I buy it all. We don't get it for free. I ain't get enough for free, man. But Bucked Up is the official energy drink of the Monty Show. Today it's Mango Tango because you vagrants have all stolen my Miami out of every retail store in the state of Utah. Even the 2 Bucked Up stores I usually go to, Sojo and Murray, sold out. Can't get it. Come back Wednesday morning, first thing.
Thanks, man.
How am I going to get here Wednesday morning?
Don't play intramurals, brother.
I say, goddamn. And then it went on sale last week at Harmon's and sold out in a second. And we go into Maverick today, and what is it? Nah, we're sold out. Sorry.
No, they don't even say anything, dude. You know what happens? You walk in there, you walk up to the case. Of course, the Miami row is empty.
This case is empty.
What they have Mango Tango out the ear hole.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, cool, Mango Tango today. And I've just stopped asking when they're going to get Miami in because he's like, yeah, it comes every Monday and it's sold out every Tuesday.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Brad Turner says, but you get 20% off, right? No, I don't.
No, we don't.
No, that's at the
for y'all.
at the website.
That's for y'all.
And we don't use our own promo codes. So, but by the way, you go into a Bucked Up store and say, hey, I heard about you guys on the Monty Show. He said you'd give me a free energy drink. Done.
And apparently all the stores, we've had so many people go into the stores that now they're like, yeah, someone comes in every day.
I'm telling you, man. Tanner Plummer says, empty, the opposite of full.
Yeah, dude, you're not wrong, bro. Like, you are not wrong.
Tanner.
Even a little bit, dude.
Tanner.
I
love you for that.
Yeah.
Tanner. Let's get awkward. No, let's not. The Fifth Element, by the way. That is the Fifth Element. Empty, the opposite of full.
This case is empty. Empty.
The opposite of full. I love that movie.
I'm screwed.
Ken Williams says, try Walmart. I am not going with the Great Unwashed.
I'm not interested in caring about people.
Are you serious? I do shop at Walmart, actually, sometimes. How do you get Jake's girl on the show?
This case is empty.
Just real quick, my mother-in-law's in town, right?
Mm-hmm.
And last night, I've been telling Jake, hey, so is this your girlfriend? No, not exclusive yet, dude. Not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
Not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
The hose ain't the hose yet. I'm like, okay. We get back to the crib last night, stopped and got some $20 Chinese food, shrimp fried rice, extra shrimp. It was amazing. I get back to the house last night. We go inside to see my mother-in-law, and she's like, oh, I heard you're dating a new girl. Yeah, I am. We're dating. It's I'm like, what?
But what does dating mean?
What does dating mean?
I explicitly said she's not my girlfriend.
What does dating mean?
Like what? I don't understand what the issue is. Seriously, what is the issue?
You know what dating means? Mm-hmm. Just, I put a blindfold on Jesus, and we go to Pound Town. That's my guy. That's my guy.
But see, I don't understand the issue. I thought I gave a pretty consistent answer.
You did. Beer the Deer says, how's the bucket of bullets doing these days? Nobody cares. He's not here. Tanner Plummer is bucket of bullets are you serious with this shit? Do you guys really have that kind of
people
memory?
Didn't forget, dude. They did not forget, bro.
Bucket of bullets refers to my lovely mother-in-law's new husband.
Maybe we should change his name to Mr. Cabela's.
Nah, bucket of bullets is better. Because so my mother-in-law recently got married, much to my dismay. Hey, but if it makes you happy, knock yourself out. Have lots of sex. It's great. The first time I met this dude, it was a disaster. We've told this story.
Yeah, but it's funny. Tell it again. There's a lot of new people.
Yeah, he decided to liken. I believed he likened abortion to catching mosquitoes through a chain link fence.
The coronavirus.
It's like, okay, cool. So you're a dick. And then they're like, oh, come over to the house. I'm not a big fan of Fox. Costa Mesa. Let's do it. All right, cool. I'll give anybody a second chance. Right.
Yeah, right.
So we go over there. You knock on the door, right? Hey.
Hang on here.
Hey,
hang on.
Anybody home? Come on in. Hugs, kisses. You know, like reluctant handshake. You walk in the house, and what's the first thing you see? Beyond the fact that there's terrible dead animals everywhere, They're
definitely real.
There quite literally is a bucket of metal jackets, a bucket of bullets.
Right.
Shell casings on the coffee table.
And I know, they're not technically bullets. They're shell casings.
Those are jackets. Jake,
before Mr. Navy SEAL who goes to the shooting range once a month.
Look, if you guys are going to talk about Republicans and the Second Amendment, know what you're talking about.
This is fucking America.
Listen, those are jackets. Those are full metal jackets, bitch. And
Americans.
Anyway. So I walk in the house and there's a bucket of bullets there.
And you were instantly like, uh-oh.
I'm out. I wanted to flee the vicinity of me.
This is a code 10 abort.
It's just awkward. I'm not a fan of the dude. Right? Like, hey, okay.
And that's your opinion. That's cool.
You make my mother-in-law happy? Okay, cool.
He's a brilliant guy.
Because my mother-in-law basically is my mother, right? And
I'm going to say this again.
I love my mother-in-law. She's really special to me. Like, I watch out for her. She probably doesn't care, but
Don't lie to me.
Whatever. But anyway.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. All the toast, or plenty of toast for all the butter. Maybe we can have your stepfather-in-law on the show.
Civilized people, they'll eat each other.
From what I understand, he busy, man. He busy. Ken Williams, here's a shocker. Oh my God, Monty, let the man live.
Where's the Italian?
I ain't telling him motherfucker to die. All I'm saying is,
Monty let him live. My guy here is not the one with a bucket of shell casings on his desk when you walk through the door.
As you can see, there's not much hope for you left.
Talk about sending a message. Talk about setting the tone.
Dave, question about man colds. Does anyone else get instantly healed by blue Powerade?
All day, dude. All day.
As a rectal enema?
No, I'm being serious. When you're sick, dude, the best cure to sick is you got to take your vitamin C every day, but go to the gym, get your sweat on.
You got to sweat it out.
You
know have to.
I personally whoa, who calling you, bro?
I don't know. I don't know who that is. I have no idea who that is.
Okay, Johnson.
That's a commercial real estate agent. Because we're looking for new studio
space. So now they
space.
decided to call you back 5 days late. Oh.
Dude, it drives me crazy.
Got it.
If you're looking for office space, just forget it. Just forget it. You got to walk in and knock on people's doors. Anyway.
Those people don't have a bucket of shell casings, though.
That's right. Or dead animals in picture frames. Blue Powerade.
Yeah, so if you're sick, this is what I want you to do. When you wake up and you don't feel well, feel well to the point where you're like, all right, I'm sick. I know I'm sick. I'm just going to own it. It's going to be cool. You instantly have a choice, and I believe there's two types of people in this world. There's person A, who's going to lay their ass down in bed and hate life for a week.
Yeah.
Person B is going to take their ass to the gym.
Yep.
They're going to go and sit in the sauna. They're going to not be around people. And then when they get out of the sauna, they're going to down 3 blue Powerades. They're going to pee it all out. They're going to sweat it all out. And then the day after or that following day, you're going to feel like $1 million. It's that simple, dude.
Fear the Deer says, rightly or wrongly, Bob is part of the program. First of all, his name is Dennis.
And excuse
Second
me,
of all, it's program.
He said program.
Oh, he did say?
He said program, dude.
Program.
My guy.
Yeah, boy, James.
Ken Williams. Yeah, my type of guy. Guns are good. It's people being stupid. I'm not saying guns are bad. It has nothing to do with guns.
Ken, the conversation. Listen to me, Ken. I have no problem with guns, right? Guns are, and this is a different show. We're not getting into it. I don't have an issue that Buddy likes guns.
Yeah,
that's
we
not
own
my
guns.
issue. Yeah, I own a gun.
What are you talking about?
That's not the issue. The issue is that Buddy thought it'd be a good idea to put a bucket of shell casings on a desk inside the door and kind of,
and I'm being, what kind of mouth breather has a bucket of bullets on their coffee table? I'm just saying. Gary says those are statement casings. Yeah, they are.
Okay, well, this one I used on Ted. He was my neighbor, and I caught him peeping. And, I'm going right between the eyes. Blamed it on a gang shooting. Happens.
By the way, have I showed you my laser pointer?
Right. Riley O'Brien, is he in the chat? Speak up, mosquito guy. He's not.
Yeah, dude.
Let's see. Gig Addy says, learn to reload. Exactly. Jake, I was talking about you, Jake. Oh, he was talking about you. Okay. Plenty of toast. When is Jake's next date with the sports chick?
Next week. She's out of town.
Okay. Gary says, that's facts. If you work out when you're sick, it's the best. You sweat it out, dude.
Yeah. And it usually takes me about 20 minutes to get through the grind phase of it. If you work out for an hour, First 20 minutes is just going to whoop your ass, dude, because you feel terrible, you don't have energy, but then your body breaks through and you're like, I feel good.
801 West Valley, call him Big Daddy, Monty. Nah, I'm fine. Tanner Plummer, new studio space. You guys moving again? Could be. Meat Rocket. There's my guy. Good to see you, Meat Rocket. I'm going to just keep giving subs and see how many days they go without noticing.
What are you talking about,
You've given
dude?
subs today?
When have you given subs today?
You did? I'm sorry. Meat Rocket gifted 5 subs at, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, dude, it's been 15 minutes, bro. Chill out.
Sorry, Meat Rocket. My bad. Nick Roten, Alan Althus, Jackson Collins. That's 2 Jacksons. Mike A. Endearant. All got memberships from Meat Rocket 304. My guy.
Let's go, Meat Rocket. Appreciate
Let's
you,
dude. Shout it out for Meat Rocket. Appreciate you, dude.
Tube steak is nice and tender today, huh?
My guy. Thank you. Tubes. Now this show is off the rails. Answer, Lopes fan Gabe says, maybe it's the Stever. I miss the Stever.
Oh, damn.
The Stever, for those of you who are new to the show, when we lived
He was such a legend.
When we lived in Phoenix,
Yeah.
we had a listener of the shitty radio station who his name is the Stever. And he is a black ops guy. And we never, like when you say to me, hey, I'm a military black ops guy, dude, I'll come for you.
Okay, bro.
You're like, okay, whatever.
You're a real tough guy.
But it's when he sends you a picture from a helicopter above your house.
And it's like circled. Like he took a picture and it's like circled. And
Yeah,
he's
it's in like a what do you call a crosshairs.
Yeah.
And I was like, God damn.
From a chopper.
And it just one thing led to another, and he told us how many times. Yeah.
From the chopper.
From Jetcopter, you're fucked. Here on planet Earth. Right? Like he was that dude.
Yeah.
But he would tell us, hey, I'm going to be gone for a while. Me and the boys are going on a fun. He used to call them like fun runs. Like
this is the same guy. This is how much of a legend this guy is. So this guy's serving in our military, super skilled guy, black ops guy, highest of the high. This guy told us told stories several times of how their unit picked up the vid. Like 3 times it went around the unit and like just torched them, dude. Like it was some of the stories he told us. Was wild.
He told us once he was in Germany when he got sick.
Yes,
and like
because they were all over the world doing super class. He literally said, I can't tell you where I'm going. I can't tell you what we're doing.
Or how long we'll be gone.
But he literally said, I'm going overseas and I'll be back in like 6 weeks. So this and he was good for it. He was. I remember specifically one time at the crappy radio station, he sent you that message on a certain date. And I said, okay, we're going to remember he sent us this message on a certain date. And I kid you not, 6 weeks later, DM'd you again on the day.
One of the best ones was he's like, hey, watch the headlines. Me and the boys are going out. And he was just a legend. But he's the one who started texting me pictures and stuff. And they would just disappear from my phone. Before like vanishing mode.
It didn't exist.
He would send me messages and be like, hey, is this your house? Or hey, and just disappeared. Like off our phones.
Yeah, dude.
Like he was such a good dude. I haven't heard from him in
years.
It's been years now.
Yeah, which is really sad.
Which worries me, obviously. Jacob DeLambo woke up feeling a little sick and got my ass to the gym. You have to.
Let's go, dude.
Dave says, I love guns, and that's weird deal having cases out like that.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Weird.
It's weird. It's not about the guns. It's about the showcases.
It is totally weird. Let's see. Endearant says, thank you, Meat Rocket. Yeah, thank you, Meat Rocket. We appreciate that. Mike Maples. What's up, Mapes? A week off dating? That's plenty of time to go pick out a good ring, Jake. See?
Schemers trying to control their little world.
Have you consummated? Have you consummated the relationship?
Nope.
You have not.
Not yet. Dude.
You have not. Okay, so then what was the BS at the gym the other day?
What?
Where I said, well, why are you guys always hanging out at your house? Oh, because that's more comfortable at my place.
Oh, is that what you mean by consummating a relationship?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we done that, bro. Yeah. I thought you were asking if she was my girlfriend.
We're dudes.
Yeah.
What else could that possibly mean? Hey, bro, have you guys, consummated the relationship? No. We're walking out of the gym the other day or whatever on the treadmill, and I'm like, why are you guys always going to your place? She only lives down the street. Why don't you go to her place? Oh, well, bro, let me tell you, my bed's way more comfortable.
God bless.
Okay, but here's the deal. Okay.
Oh my God.
Any dude is going to appreciate this. So 3 years ago when I moved to Salt Lake and got out of my last disaster relationship.
And left your awesome gaming chair there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Casualty of war. I bought a California King bed and bed frame, and it's been absolutely amazing. And it's a $700 bed.
Who made you do that?
Well, you made me buy a bed, but we were shopping together, and you said you have to get a California King. And I was like, all right,
you do.
And so I was like, because at that time box beds were big. Like, hey, you can go to Costco and get one, or Purple, or like there were all these companies. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go with Casper. I'm gonna try it and see what it's like. I can afford it, and I did it, and it's been absolutely amazing. And so yeah, that's why.
Gary's like, Pound Town, bros.
That's what
Whip
I'm
it out,
talking about,
Jay.
bro. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Stay hard.
Oh my God.
Yeah, bro.
Plenty of Toast says, at the new studio, can you put Draper Moms instead of Draper on the wall? We can do anything we want.
I like how this is becoming a thing now.
I don't know if we're moving.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
We are exploring our options.
Yeah. Whoa. Like the Pac-12.
Yeah.
We're not out of time. Everything's fine. And we're going to do some back of the envelope calculations on the numbers. So we'll let you know.
By the way, speaking of...
Stay hard.
You want to apologize for your slander on Devin Booker now?
What slander?
Where you said he sucks and he'll never score
I
another
never
basket?
said he sucks. I said that Buddy's got to prove it, and he has. This is clearly a different Devin Booker. But I will tell you this. This is what happens when a guy of Devin Booker's caliber teams up with a bro like Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant teaches Buddy a couple of things.
Devin Booker.
Do you notice how last night specifically?
Devin Booker.
Do you notice how physical Devin Booker has been on
Devin
the offensive?
Booker.
Yeah, okay, we get it. We get it. Chill out.
I'm so bricked up right now.
Sorry, I stepped it. Please go right ahead.
Do you notice how hard Devin Booker's been playing? See what I did there?
Really? I'm telling you, my guy's ready to go.
Yeah.
And I will say this about Devin Booker again. This is a guy he's got to be, because too many times in big games, the NBA Finals is one of them, he'll take like way too many threes, he'll miss, and then he'll never shoot another three.
Yeah.
Now, what you're seeing is Devin Booker has somebody to play off of in Kevin Durant, somebody who wants to see him do well, because I still maintain that Chris Paul, when it was Chris Paul and Devin Booker, Chris Paul didn't want to give the ball up ever.
No,
right?
He still doesn't. You still see that.
But Devin Booker now, he is using that mid-range game to create space in the three-point shot.
Yeah.
And you're seeing an elite level of finishing at the rim that's buying him more space. And you know the other thing? His willingness to pass. That time at Point Book, which was a disaster for him physically, I think that time has completely transformed Devin Booker's game.
Yeah, well, I think in a couple of ways. I think one, when you play on a bad team and you're the best player and you got to run Point Book, those times make you appreciate the times you're in now. I mean, again, we all have to remember, too, what is he, 25, I think? Devin Booker is a young man. Like, how old is he? Let me just confirm. Devin Booker is 26. He's
on a max
baby.
extension now.
Yeah.
He's on the Don deal.
Yeah. So, I mean, the guy is just, he's in great shape. I often wonder, though, and this was your point this morning in the pre-show meeting.
Vaunted pre-show meeting.
If we get into this box score last night, because I think it's really worth mentioning. They give up. What did they give up? What did they give up? Wasn't it like 100? Let's see. Should know this. My bad. They give up 124 last 124. Night to a Clipper team without PG or Kawhi. And it's mainly because Norman Powell had the game of his life, and things happen.
The Clippers, everybody who played for the Clippers had the game of their life, which they had to have. I don't think anybody doubts that. And I'm not trying to slight Norman Powell. I'm truly not. But what I'm saying is the Phoenix Suns took the best punch that version of the LA Clippers had. The thing that scares you, if Kawhi plays, the Clippers win. I would guess, not because of the score, but the way that game was played, I'm starting to wonder if the Phoenix Suns have the defensive wherewithal to beat the Clippers. Because I would also remind you, that everybody's favorite player, Russell Westbrook, was out of his mind last night.
Yeah, he was.
Russell Westbrook last night.
Vintage.
Was 40 minutes, 11 of 23. He shot 55%. 3 of 7 from 3, 5 of 6 from the line, 8 boards, 12 dimes, 3 steals, 1 block, 6 turnovers.
It's vintage Russell Westbrook.
And he was a +1, 30 points. Like, Russell Westbrook is back. And it may have been that the I want to say the disrespect, but all of the BS that happened with the Lakers may have lit this cat on fire.
Yeah.
And you can see him defending Kevin Durant has become personal. And I think that's absolutely been a thing, because you look at Kevin's numbers, he was not efficient. 8 of 15 and only 1 of 3 from 3. 11 of 11 from the free throw line. Now, he still scored 28 points. That's not the typical fashion he does it in.
No, it's not.
And I think that Russell Westbrook is playing a big role in that. Now, having said that, the other guy that's still a flipping prop on this team is DeAndre Ayton, because he's got to score 20 points for them to win a championship.
Agreed.
He's got to. But you look at Book's number, and again, this is 2 games in a row, right? What did I tell you? He needs to take 20 shots. He took 29 last night, right? What did I tell you? He needs to shoot 30% from 3, 3 of 7, right? So he's right on that number. He needs to score 30 points. He scored 45 last night, right? But you know what scares you about that? He scored 45 points and was a +3. How is that possible? That tells you their defense is terrible. That their defense is terrible.
Yeah.
Because you look at the plus-minus, dude, you scored 129 points and had to hang on to win that game.
Yeah.
And the only reason you won that game is because you lost the fourth quarter and Book was making shots. That's like, they were so bad. They gave up 40 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah. It's not good enough.
Defense is a problem. Offense is not. And it really worries you going forward into that series, by the way.
Yep.
So, there you have
more
it.
comments.
Tanner Plummer, what will happen first? The new studio or a Pac-12 deal? Stop. Ken Williams says, enjoy, guys. Ken, good to see you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother.
Thanks for being here, dude. Tom, can we get a collage of all the premium members as a cartoon character like Theo Von's old studio? Sure. We can do that.
I can tell you right now, if, and it's a big if, no guarantees, not saying it's going to happen. If we were to move, the Wall of Fame will become a thing.
Yes, it will.
It will become a thing.
Absolutely. We're committed to that. Ken Williams is king, Ty
Yes,
Duke
sir.
says. All the toast or plenty of toast for all the butter. Can you add a toaster to the studio?
Why don't you bring a signed toaster in?
By the way,
Yeah.
we had a small snack this morning. We had some really high-level business meetings that went pretty well. Jake put in the Tyson chicken nuggets into the toaster oven. I believe it's a Cuisinart toaster oven. That
Anita
thing
Dickin
is-
me.
Yeah, put it in, bro.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
That, I'm telling
They
you,
don't disappoint.
if you don't have an air fryer type situation,
Air fryers are game changing.
you're crazy.
I would even go as far as to say an air fryer, if you're single and you live alone, air fryer can replace a full-size oven, no problem.
More important, air fryer or magnums.
Cock.
It depends on the person, I guess.
Ain't no reset.
It depends on who you dating.
Yeah, man.
You know, Michael Peck makes a great point. Once you go Cali King, you never go back. You never go back.
No, you don't.
You never go back.
You really don't.
And Ken Williams says, I gifted 5
Let's
memberships.
go, Ken.
Let's go, Ken.
Let's go, baby. Where they at?
Did you really?
Hello.
There it is right there. Hey. Love that. 801 West Valley. Aaron Wilson. Aaron Wilson's the guy who usually gifts memberships. Appreciate you,
Go.
Ken. Skoducky,
I thought you said Skoducky.
which is an Oregon fan. Good to see you, Skoducky. B-Cab. Tanner T. What's up? Love that. Way to go, Ken Williams. Appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for gifting memberships. We always try to have 50 memberships on a Friday. We've got 15 minutes left in the show. We're 13 members short.
Come on, baby.
Hook it up. We appreciate you guys. Thank you. Make sure you hit the like button. By the way, we've had over 2,000 views on the show today. We only have 106 likes. Please hit the like button. Raptor88 says, I gifted memberships. You did.
Bro, you're casual today.
Dude, how am I missing all of these, you guys?
So what you have to understand while he looks for that is there's 2 different screens
Meat
that we have to
Rocket.
flip between to see certain...
Nate Simons gifted a membership. Thank you, Chris S.
Look at all
Jet
these,
Wayman
bro.
gifted a membership. Rick Forster.
Let's go.
Appreciate that.
Bro, is that another 10?
Is that another 10 from Ken Williams? Stop it, Kenny. Yes,
Bro,
it is.
Ken,
let's
go,
go. Let's go. Jamie Tuttle, Cody G, Richard Carlson, James McCann, Eric Hanneman, Matt Hart.
Let's go.
Jeff Natavidad, Patrick Ford, Eddie Stoss. Let's go.
Hell yeah, dude. We need 3 more now.
Let's go.
Right? We need three
more. We need 3 more. That's all we need. Somebody donate 3 memberships.
Let's go, baby.
Let's do it on a Friday.
Come on. Give me 3 new people donating 1 membership.
Let's go. I'm going to tell you all about our friends at Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com, while you gift 3 memberships. You guys, the best barbecue in the country, Barbecue Pit Stop. And when I say barbecue, I mean barbecue equipment, Traeger, Big Green Egg, Yoder, Camp Chef. You name it, they've got it. You want awesome covers for your grills? They've got it. You want mats that go on the ground in front of your grill? They've got it. You know what else they have? The Asado seasoning from Flavor Knuckles. They've got it. And you know what you can do? You can get it all online. bbqpitstop.com. Coast to coast, they ship for you. And I'm telling you, the flavors, the seasonings, the rubs, again, the equipment, the meat. Did you know that any of their Utah locations, Logan, Layton, Lehigh, Payson, St. George, Murray, across the street from the mall on State Street, but Payson's their newest location. All of their stores, you guys, you can get meat supplies in there, especially in Payson. It's in a meat store. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Get what you need. But the reason you shop, the reason that you shop with our friends at Barbecue Pit Stop is because they are absolutely, positively the best dudes to do business with.
Yeah.
In Lehigh, my guy Clinton at the Lehigh store, an absolute barbecue savant. You need to know how to make a brisket, wings, anything you need, absolutely, you can get that from Barbecue Pit Stop. They're just good guys to do business with. You know, on this show, we really focus on supporting small business, guys like Bucked Up, our guys at The Advocates, certainly Papa Murphy's Pizza, Canyons Golf, Darren Ingram, our guy up at Canyons Golf, Barbecue Pit Stop. They're all small business owners, you guys. That's who we do business with, because we want you to do business with them at Barbecue Pit Stop, bbqpitstop.com. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Broke through the 50 memberships today. Jet Wayman gives 5. LV Seminole gives 5. See, a guy like, in all seriousness, Teddy Wayman and the guys at Wayman Brothers Construction
Stud.
Built this studio. They do not advertise on our show. Teddy Wayman's the best tile guy in the business. I'm telling you, you need tile put down.
On NIL.
Message Teddy. You need Teddy. Teddy personally has done tile in my home. The Wayman Brothers Construction Company, a family-owned small business, built the deck and poured the pad for my hot tub. Alma Wayman was just in my house last week doing electrical work.
I'm the best there is.
Go hook it up. Take care of Wayman Brothers Construction. They're a local construction company. Thank you, Teddy Wayman. My best to the Cougars and Draper tonight. He gives us 5 new memberships. LV Seminole gives us 5 memberships.
Oh, look at all those gifts,
Let's
bro.
go. Floatin'
Yeah.
Joe, Esta Loco, Mike Dottie. Let's go.
Can I get someone to explain how to gift memberships since Michael Peck is
Michael
asking?
Peck is asking, how do we gift memberships? I believe you just hit the
there's a button
the gift
somewhere.
button at the bottom of the screen.
Just so you know, YouTube doesn't let us gift our own memberships.
We
so
cannot.
We can't do that.
Skinny Dick Nick says, sorry, missed the show, had to work. Nick, always good to see
Whoever
you.
came up with that shit need to be fired.
Ken Williams says the $. Fear the Deer says, have a great weekend, guys. Take care, everybody. Hey, go Bucks, right?
Hey, buddy. See you Monday.
Good to see you. Mitch D says, what if some of Utah's current business partners start leaving? Ooh, that'd be tough. That'd be very tough. Skinny Dick Nick, thanks, Jet. You're the GOAT. Yes, you are, Jet Wayman. You are the GOAT. Click the $, he says. That would be tough. If Utah started losing corporate sponsors, I don't think they will.
No, they won't.
I don't think they will.
Nah,
Seriously.
it's too much power.
I don't see that they will.
In a quick non-sports story, something that just popped up on my Twitter feed.
Yes.
Mississippi man arrested after police found nearly 83 pounds of marijuana during a traffic stop He was pulled over for speeding in a construction zone while heading to Chicago.
Wait, did you say 83 pounds?
83 pounds of weed in Buddy's car.
You guys.
Like, what, bro?
You 80. Okay. Let me get this right. You've got 83 pounds of cushion in the car. And you're telling me, A, you're speeding through a construction zone while you were allegedly, in my opinion, likely running your drugs up the freeway to Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, well, he just possessed them. There was no intent to distribute
83 pounds is personal
Come
use,
on, dude.
83 pounds, personal use, man.
Look,
don't
speeding,
judge me.
Listen, speeding through a construction zone is nothing like speeding through Bryce Canyon. It's not the same thing. Come on.
Okay, I am not going to give in to your whimsical demands.
What?
For me to play you polluting the air. I'm not going to do it.
I mean, who knows if I had 80 pounds of weed in the car?
How do you have 83? Like, what do you even do? Here's the cops finding the 83 pounds of weed. Me?
Yo.
No, you cannot search my car. But again, I will say, and now we're way off the rails. I will say before we get out of here, this is the exact reason you don't consent to searches in your car.
When you ask them that question, you may get a very unusual answer.
And I love the cops. I love our law enforcement. I come from a family of law enforcement folks. But you guys, we do not, under any circumstance, we do not bring at all cops into our cars. You just cannot do that.
It's not smart.
When they say to you, "Hey, where are you going tonight?" I'm not talking about my day, man.
Well, how'd you handle the traffic stop? We got pulled over on our last trip.
We got pulled over, and the guy said, "You know how fast you were going?" And I said, "I'm not going to answer that question." And he said, "Well, where are you guys headed?" And I said, "I'm not talking about my day, man. No offense, but like, here's my license and insurance card." And he handled it perfectly. He's like, "All right, cool, man. Let me go write this ticket. I'll be right back." Wrote me a ticket. Done.
See you later.
Done. You don't have to be rude. You do not have to be rude.
But I think that's where a lot of people misstep. Not to go too deep on this, but I think a lot of people watch these videos on Twitter and TikTok and all these different places, and these guys are being complete assholes to the cops when they do this. And it's like, don't be rude. Just say, "Hey, yeah, I'm not going to answer your questions, about my day. Here's my stuff. Let's just get on with business."
Yeah, I just don't think this is, and this is just me, I don't think when you get pulled over, if a cop says to you, "Do you know how fast you were going?" Your answer should not be, "No, I have no idea." Your answer should not be, "Yeah, I was doing 89 and a 40. I get it, man." Your answer is, "I'm not going to talk about that," or "Yes, I know how fast I was going." And then I would tell you to say, "Yes, I know how fast I was going." Well, how fast was it? I'm not going to answer that question. Because they're going to use that against you. They're trying to lock in their position.
Yeah.
So all I would say is, "Hey, officer, how are you?" And by the way, if you're running 83 pounds of dope, you're probably done anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We got all kinds of stuff happening here, bro.
Jazz Perch 1, who's a member for a month, says getting pulled over sucks. Exactly. Nate Simons gifted 5 memberships to Terry Tenick, Nathan Roberson, Chris Bacon, David Fulmer, James Nelson. Appreciate you guys doing that. Thank you. Jeremy Callahan says, "We do not, under any circumstance, put 83 pounds of weed in the car."
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, what are you doing?
Hey, look, guys. Listen.
Hey, guys.
I need a favor. I'm moving and my truck's full, but I have this 83-pound package.
Where's the Italian?
I need you to drive it up to Chicago for me. Like, under what circumstance did you be like, "Yeah, I'll put 83 pounds of weed in my car"? Come on now.
Nah, I'm good.
Tanner Plummer says, "Jake, with the way you were driving that day at Bryce Canyon, I wouldn't be shocked if you were high and had 80 pounds of weed."
Yeah, only had one ticket in 15 years of driving, bro.
Monty is showing Aaron Rodgers again. See? You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, fucking God.
Aaron Rodgers leaving his darkness retreat. That video never gets old. By the way, did you guys hear that Aaron Rodgers told his agent it's the New York Jets or nothing?
What?
New York Jets or nothing. He does not.
Are you being serious right now?
Sources say that he does not want to play for the 49ers.
You're a douche.
Like,
you know, like
I am so sick and tired of Aaron Rodgers.
Ken says, I say I'm old and I don't have to drive fast. I don't drive fast, exactly. Those cops only turned in 80 pounds, I bet. LOL. And it's not, listen, this thing with the cops and the way you talk to the cops, they're not bad people. But you just can't risk yourself. There is no reason to answer the question, how fast were you going? There's no reason to answer the question, how many drinks have you had?
Yeah, I know what time it is.
There's no reason to ask, where are you coming from? Where are you going to?
That's not what we're about.
All they're doing is trying to get probable cause. And if they say, can I search your car? No, you cannot. And as soon as they say, hey, I'm going to search your car. Okay, well, am I under arrest or am I free to go? That's it. Because there's no circumstance where you should say, yes, you can search my car. Now, if they say I have probable cause, get out of the car, do exactly what they tell you to do.
Excellent strategy, sir.
Get out of the car. But the other thing I would tell you, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and I sent a friend of mine a video from TikTok of a DUI lawyer. And this DUI lawyer's advice is never do the field sobriety test. They are set up for you to fail. And if you've been drinking, don't do the field sobriety test. If you have not been drinking, don't do the field sobriety test. They are set up for you to fail. But at all times, follow the commands of the officer. At all times. And this friend of mine had many years ago gotten a DUI and refused to do the field sobriety test, and they arrested him for it. And eventually, long story short, he wound up getting out of it, et cetera, et cetera. But I sent him that video, and I don't think people understand that. You do not have to do the field sobriety test. Now, if they say breathalyzer or blood test, you should know your state laws. But I don't believe there's a state in the union that mandates you do a field sobriety test. And I would tell you not to.
Yeah.
Mike Maples, it's not weed, just $500,000 in cash, you know.
All gas,
But there's
no break.
you know, the other thing, I'm glad you brought that up. Do you guys know what asset forfeiture is? Do you realize if you get pulled over and you have $5,000 in $1 bills in your car, they're going to take that money and they're not going to tell you why, where they put it, or how to get it back. They don't have to. If you go to the airport and you have 10 grand in cash in your suitcase, they're going to take that money and you're probably never going to get it back. And they don't have to tell you why. They don't have to tell you where they took it. It's called asset forfeiture. And it is a booming business in this country. I am begging you, look at it, go research asset forfeiture. And please don't carry large amounts of cash with yourself. There's just no reason to do it.
Yeah.
There is no reason to do it.
You better be flying private.
That's exactly right. I Am Anonymous says, hey, Monty, I recently got pulled over and the police officer said I pulled you over because I thought you were going too fast. Should I go and challenge it? Yes, you should.
He pulled you over because he thought you were going too fast?
The first question you always ask, because a lot of people also don't understand that they have to record the traffic stops now.
And this is not professional advice. We are not lawyers.
No. They have to record the traffic stop. In my opinion, the first thing I would say is, well, what do you mean you thought? Did you catch me on your radar? That's when that happens, because they have to record.
Yeah.
And you should ask them, because they have to give you or your lawyer that video upon request. It is not a question. That's why you should, record every traffic stop. When we got pulled over on our way to wherever we were going, LA, I guess it was.
Sure.
We recorded the traffic stop. Because you absolutely should. You absolutely should. And I would tell you, if you feel like you want to go fight it, go fight it. I don't know. Half of the cost of a speeding ticket is the inconvenience of going to court.
Yeah. That's
what I would say. Callahan, I have had an officer trick me with one of those. Don't answer questions.
Yeah.
Don't answer questions. Jake, Ken Williams says, I was talking about you and your dating, not your crazy grandpa.
I don't remember your comment now, Ken, to be honest with you. I apologize, bro.
Jake's old and he has a bad memory.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Jeff Johnson, asset forfeiture is one of the most immoral laws in existence. It's disgusting. Yes, it is. Because there is no reason given for taking your cash. They just simply tell you, we've seized your money.
I want it.
And 9 times out of 10, I believe as the law is written, they have to have a reason for taking your money from you. But is literally at airports, it's especially a problem. It's suspicious that you would be going through TSA with $10,000 in your suitcase. Why would you ever do that? You're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. Dallin Sproul, I don't know how this happened, but thanks for the gift of the membership, whoever gave me that one. Dallin, welcome to the membership.
There you go, buddy.
Appreciate that. Who gave Dallin that membership? Somebody did. I wish I could go back and... getting pulled over sucks. It does. Dallin, I have to go back and look. But yes, I'm glad that you got a membership, Dallin. Always appreciate seeing your comments here. So all of you guys that gifted all 62 memberships today, thank you. He said, I thought you were going to go faster too. That's not how we get pulled over in this country. Jeremy Callahan, funny, I thought I put 100 pounds of weed in there. Exactly.
Whatever.
Exactly. Jeremy Callahan also says, but if you do need professional advice, the advocates, you're welcome. That's what I'm saying. Gary says, so $9,999 is a limit. It's not the limit. It's not. They can seize $50 in cash, dude.
But it's not worth their time.
It's not. Yeah. But I'm telling you, they do not. It is. You have to fight to get it back. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Go. You guys, go research. Google search asset forfeiture, and you need to know about it. If I send a signed toaster, will you add it to the studio? If we move studios, I will add it to the new studio. Absolutely.
But again, it's an if. It's not
like a done deal.
Yeah, we didn't say it was a done deal, bro.
It's certainly not. The Monty Show is presented by The Advocates, theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business. The Advocates. You didn't deserve to get in that accident, man. You certainly did not deserve to get hurt at work. Let somebody fight for you while you get healthy, while you get back on your feet, while you get back to work, while you get back to living. That's what the Advocate's doing. They do not charge you a penny until they win your case. You have nothing to lose by going to theadvocates.com right now and chatting with an attorney live online for free at theadvocates.com. You guys, it has been a record-breaking week on the Monty Show. 62 memberships given today.
Let's go, baby.
We broke 16,000 subscribers on this channel today. I love you. I appreciate you. Please be safe this weekend. Come home to daddy on Monday. I'm not
daddy.
I'm not your daddy. Okay.
Daddy.
Thanks for being amazing. Buckedup.com. Get the free samples in the description below. Until Monday, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.